I wasn't searching for anything important that day, just an old sweater, something warm because the evening air had started to feel colder than usual, not just outside but inside the house too, the kind of cold that doesn't come from weather, the kind that comes from silence. I walked slowly into my room, my steps soft against the floor I had walked on for more than 30 years. Every corner of that house knew me. Every wall had heard my voice, my laughter, and my quiet moments. But that day the house felt different, still, distant, like it was holding something back from me. I opened the old wooden cabinet near the window, the same cabinet I had used for years, the same one I stopped organizing after my husband passed away. After that, things just stayed where they were. I never had the heart to move them. I reached inside, pushing aside folded clothes that carried the faint smell of time. My fingers brushed against something hard, flat, not fabric. I paused. Slowly I pulled it out. It was an old photograph. The edges were slightly bent. The surface had that soft, faded shine that only comes with years of being hidden away. For a moment I just looked at it, then I sat down because something inside me shifted quietly. There we were, my husband, my son, and a little girl, standing between them, smiling, holding my husband's hand. I blinked once, then again. My heart didn't race, it didn't panic, it just sank slowly. Because I knew something was wrong. That girl was not someone I knew. I have lived in that house most of my life. I came there as a young bride, unsure and hopeful, carrying small dreams and quiet fears. My husband, Rahim, was not a man of many words, but he was steady. Kind, the kind of man who didn't promise big things but always did what he could. Life with him was simple, and I was content with that. We didn't have much in the beginning. Just a small space, basic furniture, and shared hope. But we had peace, and that was enough. For many years, our home felt incomplete in one quiet way. We had no child. Time passed slowly in those years. Every festival felt a little quieter. Every gathering reminded me of what was missing. There were nights I would sit alone, wondering if this was how my life would always be, but Rahim never let me feel alone in that pain. He would sit beside me and say gently, "Some things take time." And one day, time answered. Ayan was born, and everything changed. The house that once felt too quiet became full of laughter, full of noise, full of life. I held him like he was something fragile, something I could lose if I wasn't careful. Rahim would smile and say, "Let him grow, don't hold him so tightly." But I couldn't help it. When you wait that long for something, you don't let go easily. Ayan grew into a gentle boy, soft-spoken, respectful. He never raised his voice. Never argued much. He was closer to his father in nature. Calm, understanding. As the years passed, our life found its rhythm. School, meals together. Evenings filled with small conversations. Nothing grand, nothing dramatic. Just a simple life lived quietly. And I truly believed that this was enough, that this was complete. When Ayan grew older, he began to carry his own responsibilities. He studied hard, found a good job, and one day he told us he wanted to get married. I remember that evening clearly. He sat across from us, his voice calm but careful. "I've met someone," he said. I looked at Rahim. Rahim looked at me, and then we both smiled, because that is what parents do. We accept, we trust, we hope. Sana came into our home like a soft breeze, quiet, respectful. She spoke gently, always choosing her words with care. In the beginning, I tried my best to make her comfortable. I showed her the kitchen, the cupboards, the small routines of the house. Didn't want her to feel like an outsider, because I knew how that felt. At first, everything went well. We cooked together, we shared tea in the afternoons, sometimes we even laughed. Those were small moments, but they mattered. I thought, this is how it will be now, a new chapter, a fuller home. But slowly things began to change, not loudly, not in a way anyone else would notice, just small shifts. Quiet ones, the kind that settle into your heart without asking permission. It started with silences. I would enter a room and conversations would stop. At first, I ignored it. I told myself I was imagining things, but it kept happening again and again. One evening, I was in the kitchen preparing dinner. I could hear their voices from the living room, low, serious, then suddenly silence. I stood still for a moment, knife in my hand, listening, nothing. I took a breath and continued cutting, pretending it didn't matter, but something inside me had already noticed. Sana began to spend more time in her room, less time in the kitchen, less time beside me. When I asked, she would say softly, "I'm just tired." And I would nod, because what else could I do? Everyone needs space. I reminded myself of that again and again, but space slowly became distance, and distance slowly became silence. Ayan also changed, not in a way that could be questioned, but in a way that could be felt. He spoke less. He avoided long conversations. Sometimes, when I asked him something simple, he would answer quickly and walk away. I told myself it was work, that he was tired, that life becomes busy, but a mother knows, even when she doesn't want to, she knows when something is different. And then there was that photo, the one in my hands, the one I had never seen before. I looked at it again, carefully, slowly, trying to understand what I was seeing. Rahim stood there, calm as always. Ayan was younger, smiling, and that girl. She stood close to them, not like a stranger, not like someone visiting, but like someone who belonged. I turned the photo over. There was writing on the back, faded but still clear, in Rahim's handwriting. "Summer day, our little family." My breath felt heavier. Our little family. I whispered softly, "Who is she?" And in that moment, the silence in my house no longer felt empty. It felt like it was hiding something that had been there for years, something I had never been told. That night, I couldn't sleep. The photo stayed beside me on the small table near my bed. I kept looking at it again and again, as if the answer might appear if I stared long enough. Memories began to surface. Small ones, things I had never paid attention to before, moments where Rahim had been distant, times when Ayan had gone somewhere and I didn't ask where. Details that once felt normal now felt different. I closed my eyes, but sleep didn't come. Only one thought stayed with me. Quiet. Persistent, heavy. What if my life was not the full story? Morning came slowly, the house was awake again, but everything felt changed. Even though nothing had been said, I folded the photo carefully and kept it in my hand. I knew one thing, I could not ignore this, not anymore. At breakfast, I sat across from Ion. He looked tired. Sana was quiet as usual. For a moment, I said nothing. Then I placed the photo gently on the table. Ion's eyes fell on it, and in that 1 second, I saw something I had never seen before, not anger, not confusion, but recognition, and something deeper, something he tried to hide. Where did you find this? He asked quietly. I looked at him. In my own house, I said softly, and yet I have never seen it before. Silence filled the room, thick, uncomfortable. I turned my gaze toward him again. Who is she? My voice didn't shake, but my heart did. Ion didn't answer immediately. He looked at Sana. Sana lowered her eyes. And that was when I understood. This was not something new. This was something known, something shared, just not with me.